Good evening, everyone. How are you at this very late performance? I'm going to start our timer. My name is Andrew Roblyer. I am a Houston-based director and producer, and I am so excited to be here at Minnesota Fringe with Director's Cut. I'm going to explain a little bit more about the show and how this is all going to work in just a moment, but I want to give the three lovely actors behind me a chance to introduce themselves because they have volunteered to be here tonight having no idea what scene they're about to do. So, with that, we'll start over here and allow you to introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Rita Tredal. I've been acting for about 20 years, and this just seemed like such a fun project and just totally unique, and I'm very excited to try it out.
Glad to have you here.
Hi, I'm Zakary Morton. Clarification, we are not volunteered, we are getting paid.
That's true. That is true.
And what I love even more about this project is I have to prepare nothing. Come find me in my other Fringe show, The Professionals, a broadcast over at the Southern. I have postcards.
Hello, I'm Greg Clark. It's my first time at the Fringe Festival. Excited to be here. Want to be cooking. Hope you guys like what you see.
Awesome. Wonderful. Well, like I said, they don't know what they're about to do yet because I need your help to select the scene. So I have prepared 3 possible scenes for us tonight, and I'm going to give you 3 descriptive words about each of them. That's all I'm going to tell you about each scene. 3 descriptive words about each, and then we're going to vote by applause about which one you would like to see. Make sense? All right. So, option number 1, your 3 words are longing, power, and resignation. Option 2, truth, distance, and pattern. And 3, betrayal, fury, and finality. All right, so those are your 3 options. Do I hear any votes for scene number 1? Woo! All right. What about scene number 2? Okay, scene number 2 is out of the running. Yeah. And scene number 3? Yeah! Whoa, all right. So, it sounds like tonight we are doing a scene from Medea by Euripides.
Just a light comedy.
It's a light comedy. I'm going to have you read Medea. I'm going to have you read Jason.
Okay.
And it says nurse, but don't think of it as a nurse. Think of it as a tutor. And we'll explain more in just a minute. So I'm going to let y'all go wander back. You can head into the dressing room or off to the side of the stage, whatever you'd like, just so you can review your scene. And the audience and I are going to chat a little bit more. So, I fell in love with theater for the first time when I was 6 years old. I was cast in a musical at church called Journey to the Center of Christmas. I was the shortest child and the only adult character in the play. And that started my love affair with theater. In fact, throughout my childhood, I used to get this ache in my soul when it had been too long between performances. But in college, I got to fall in love with theater all over again when I discovered the work of directing. Not because I wanted control over the process, but because I realized that I was really passionate about being positioned within a production to be able to support all of the different artists that were working together to create something beautiful. And when I fall in love with something, my nerdy type A brain loves to learn everything I can about it, and that's when I discovered there's no real path for directors in the American theater. There's no training, no map. Most directors learn to direct by doing it and hoping that we don't break something or someone along the way. Because here's the thing. The director sets the emotional tone for a production. In the corporate world, studies show that the #1 factor in whether people thrive or burn out is their manager. And in theater, that is no different. The director is the culture setter, the emotional thermostat, the person who decides what matters. But most directors, especially in what I call upstream theater, meaning community and educational spaces, are just thrown in. At a low estimate, there are 30,000 directors working in those spaces every year with no training, no mentors, and no support. Just vibes. And the weight that is placed on their shoulders is immense. They are told that their vision is what makes a show sink or swim, and on top of that, there's the implicit understanding that they are training the next generation of artists who will move downstream to professional theater and Broadway. Because nobody gets their start downstream. We all start upstream. And then we wonder why theater spaces can be tense, toxic, and unclear. It's not because directors don't care, it's because the system never taught them how. That's why I built Deconstructing Directing, which is also the name of the company that brings you this show today. It is a completely free, 100% online resource library for directors. It explores topics that most directors I know have never had a chance to talk to anyone about. Facilitation skills, imposter syndrome, power dynamics, regulating our own emotions, and letting go of fear-based, authority-driven models of directing that have held our field hostage for far too long. It is a resource unlike any other in existence for directors, and you can check it out for yourself at the QR code quarry that you will get when you leave here at the end of the show. And I'll explain more about that at the end. Director's Cut, the show you're here to see, is my attempt to put at least some of that work in a performance. I know that the marketing makes this feel like a cool, edgy experiment, and it is, but it's also more than that. It's a window into something theater rarely shows, how at least part of directing actually works. And it's a love letter to every director who's ever been told to just figure it out. So tonight, I'm going to be building this scene from scratch right here in front of you with the help of these three fantastic actors. No prep, no second chances. You'll see me probably stumble, chase moments, make some hard choices, not because I think I have all the answers, but because I believe that directing deserves to be visible, valued, shared. Because when we support directors, when we give them the tools and space to grow, we create better theater. Safer rooms, stronger stories, braver choices. And that makes theater better for all of us. Excited to see the show tonight? All right, wonderful. All right, I'm going to invite the actors back out to the stage. I'm going to grab my water bottle real quick. So we are going to start with something that we normally would do around a table, hence we call it table work. However, no table. So we're going to do table work on our feet. Now, one of the things that is going to be really interesting tonight is we are working in what I would typically call an alley-style stage setup. So as we do this, I'm going to remind the actors, your back's probably going to be to someone at some point tonight. That's okay. We will make sure that you don't keep your backside toward any one person for too long, okay? I'll take care of that. But for now, we're going to start by reading through the text. The point of a table read is to give both the actors and the director a chance to hear the text out loud for the first time, right? So they haven't read this out loud before. I haven't heard this read out loud before, so we're going to do that right now. And then we're going to move into what we call table work. Again, sans table tonight, and we'll talk more about that in just a minute. So I will leave it to the actors to take it away and give you their first reading of Medea by Euripides. When you're ready, Jason.
I've come, as you requested. You hate me, but I'm here and prepared to listen. Woman, what is it you want from me now?
Her suffering wells up. My heart knows she may do something dreadful.
Jason, I ask you to forgive me for what I said before. My anger you should endure, since we shared so much. I debated with myself, why am I so enraged, resenting those who offer good advice? Why fight rulers or my husband, whose actions serve my best interests, with this royal marriage, producing brothers related to my sons? Why can't I stop being angry? Don't I have children? Don't I know we go into exile where friends are rare?
You must understand this marriage secures their future. As your husband, I must do what I can to protect what's ours.
Protect, Jason? You traded love for status, hospitality for politics. Our children became pawns. You call this good?
Lady, think of your sons. He offers them shelter.
Shelter, bought with betrayal. He married another, abandoning their mother.
Medea, think! I'm to shield them with this alliance. I serve their welfare, not strip it away.
Your logic wounded me long ago. Security built on my sacrifice. Clever and cruel.
Wait, consider this. The household trembles, and her children's lives hang on your decisions.
I see your pain, but know that exile follows unless I act. The royal match could prevent our ruin.
Exile you decree, but I brought us here through love. I betrayed father and home only for you. Now I'm cast out.
I did not. foresee your reaction. I thought reason would temper anger.
Reason? You uprooted my life. You married into royalty and dismissed me. I, who saved you, served you, and cast aside.
I offered resources, dignity, a future. I did not force you.
Silence! You never truly offered me anything. Your bargain dishonors me and our children.
Lady, you tremble. This house is everything we knew. It's now shattered.
Better shattered than lived in betrayal. My resolve builds. I will not be dismissed.
Then tell me, what do you demand?
Justice. Recognition. A life that does not die in shame. Yet, I see no place left for me.
Medea, I pray, think of our children. Do not destroy their future for vengeance.
Destroy their future. My children's safety is already stolen. Their fate is exile, or worse.
Jason, look at her grief, man. Her rage, her fear, her thoughts. Leave her. Lest she decide beyond reason, my friend.
Medea, if you must leave, I will provide for them. I swear by children to support them.
Words. Promises are as empty as your affection.
Then let it be known, you do this of your own will.
Yes. I choose my path. My children's fate, my father's betrayal, your ambition. You brought it all upon us.
My lady, stay. Think. Don't let the spirit rule you.
I've thought enough. My fury, not yours, will speak. Farewell, Jason.
Medea.
And scene. Let's give him a round of applause. All right. Solid start. All right. So, as I mentioned before, we're going to move into this section that we call table work. We're going to move pretty quickly through this. Normally I would spend an entire rehearsal working through the text if we were doing a full show, but thankfully we're just working with a couple of pages. So, I want to have a conversation with y'all. I'm going to ask some questions. I'm not digging for a particular answer. These are open-ended questions. But I want to start by just making sure we're clear on the context of the scene. We don't need to know the whole show, Medea, but we do need to know kind of what has happened up to this point, right? So Medea is not from here, wherever we are. We don't need to worry about exactly where that is right now, but Medea is not from here. And she came here married to Jason, right? But Jason has now agreed to marry the daughter of the king. This is a political marriage, right? And because Medea has gotten real upset about this in public, the king has basically said, shut up or I'm going to exile you and your kids. Right? So that's kind of where we're at this point in the story, right? Is that now Medea has kind of made her stance known, and Jason has come back and is trying to kind of see, hey, are we cool, right? For lack of a better way of explaining it. All right, great. So that's kind of just a little bit of context. Beyond that, we'll treat this scene as its own show. So we don't need to worry too much about what comes after in the original text, that kind of thing. All right, so the first question I have for the two of you, and there's no right or wrong answer. We don't have to go by what's originally in the text for this. How long have you two known each other, do you think?
So if you're not from here, but I am, I would say we've probably known, we have several children, it appears. I'm guessing maybe not super old children, maybe all are under the age of 12.
Yep, I think that's fair to say.
I'm going to say we've known each other for a decade.
I was thinking that.
Is that fair? Okay, great, a decade. So what drew you to each other to begin with? What about Medea drew Jason to her? Let's start there.
I'm going to say I went through all the local girls.
Okay.
Or maybe not that crass. Maybe I just found everyone I grew up with boring.
Okay.
And you represented something new and different.
Okay, so there was something, I think that's really helpful. So let's hold on to that nugget of like this kind of exoticism, right?
Sure.
Which is potentially problematic, but we'll come back to that.
Very passionate.
But yeah, but I think that exoticism is important. So we'll come back to that.
Okay.
What about for Jason? What drew Medea to Jason?
Yeah, I also was thinking the allure of someone, far away, and I'm sure I saw him as very striking, but I also think, based on, what I've read, I can see her thinking he's going to be very loyal, and he's really, he's moved me there, and I think I have stability, I have loyalty, and that's why I think that this was so hard for her.
Absolutely. Okay. So that brings me to the next question, and you kind of have already started answering it, and that is, prior to this situation with Creon, right, where the king says, marry my daughter, right? Prior to this situation, how was your relationship? Was it strong? Was it, were you both happy in the relationship, do you think? Again, no right or wrong answers. And you can disagree on this.
I was happy.
Great.
I don't know about my partner.
What about
I feel like I was happy, and I feel like kind of alluding to what you said, I think it was very fiery and passionate.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's how I felt.
So take a second and think about, give yourself some specificity in imagining some moments in your relationship, your fictional relationship, that jump out to you, right? And they don't have to be the same, you don't have to talk to each other about it, but imagine waking up one morning and seeing him out doing push-ups, nude, whatever. Or think about, so it could be sexual, it could be romantic, it could just be, that moment of watching her with the kids, or watching him with the kids, or a trip that you all went on, whatever, right? But decide on 2 or 3 memories, because we're going to come back to that one. So one of the things that is really valuable that directors bring to the process is the fact that we are here to kind of stand back and look at the bigger picture. I had a mentor once tell me that actors are directors of their own character, right? They are the ones that kind of understand their character best, whereas the director's job is to kind of step back and help them kind of identify things that touch points for their character that might be helpful in the larger story. And so now we're going to move over here to the nurse, or to the tutor, as we said. So obviously you work for them in some capacity, right? Helping to take care of the kids. But there seems to be some sort of friendship or close relationship between you and Medea, right? Because you're the one with the kids all the time, she's with the kids all of the time, right? So tell me what has your time working for Medea been like? There's no right or wrong answer, you can make it up.
I would say it's been a close one, basically because I'm trying to protect our relationship as a worker and client, and I know she's going through all this with the husband and stuff, and she's telling me her inner thoughts, and I'm trying to be on both sides. I have a relationship with him too, because he's like the Lord or whatever. So
great. So take a minute. You don't need to write this down unless you want to. You don't need to say it out loud. But name the 3 kids in your head, right? Decide what their names are for you. We don't speak them in the text, so it doesn't matter that we all agree on their names. But let's just name the 3 kids and imagine what they look like in your head. All right. And the reason I want you to do that is because when we come back to the scene, I'm going to ask you to come back to that touch point. I'm going to ask you to imagine their faces in your mind. And we'll do that again in just a second. So just take a second and be thinking about that. All right, you have a chance to think about those memories.
Yep.
Okay, great. So I want to talk briefly before we get into the scene about one final thing, and that is the overall thrust of this story, right? Why tell this story? What in this story matters to us as an ensemble right now? What do you think? What jumps out to you about this dynamic and about these people?
It's the death of a relationship.
Yeah.
And a relationship that was at some point serving both of these people.
Yeah. Okay. Why is that important? Why is that an important story to tell? I agree with you. Doesn't matter.
I could not tell you. It's an interesting story, which I think is maybe more important than a story that needs to be told.
Okay.
I think people can connect with it. I think most people have gone through something hard, and there is a, ooh, yeah, been there, you know, that feeling.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately in the story, as it's originally told, she kills her kids, right, rather than let them be exiled, right, or to be exiled without them, right, and it's ultimately a tragedy in that regard, right. It is a story of kind of, you know, what not to do, as it was, right. I think there's a value in letting us see the pain that this choice that Jason has made causes them, right? That when we think about, you know, not that Aristotle is, you know, God when it comes to this, but he talks about catharsis, right? This idea of like seeing the pain that other people are experiencing allows us to connect with something in ourselves that allows that release of emotion. Great. Okay, cool. So the reason I ask that question is because a lot of times directorially, you know, we are told as directors it is our vision for the show, right? I dislike that. I think that is problematic. I like to say that a director, and especially for me as a director, I bring the initial vision to the show. But then part of my job is to help get buy-in from the other team members that I'm with so that it becomes our vision for the project, right? So even in just a few minutes, we work together, we're able to kind of establish, okay, this is a common goal. We really want to highlight the pain that these people are going through and bring about that moment of catharsis. All right, excellent. That's going to become important. All right, so now let's think about staging. So the next thing that I think about a lot of times is what is this going to look like in the space? Now, we don't have set costumes. We're doing this all on the fly. But let's get specific about what's on our walls, as it was.
Sure.
So let's imagine that the entrance to the house is here.
Okay.
All right. So entrance to the house, we'll call this upstage. For now, we'll call that downstage. Okay. So entrance to the house is here. What else do we imagine in the courtyard outside of the house? What else is there in your mind? What else do you see?
I imagine like some sort of water feature and like an olive tree.
Love that. All right, so an olive feature, or an olive feature, a water feature.
Water feature.
So I'm going to give us 2 chairs to kind of represent the edge of like a fountain.
Sure.
Okay.
And that way it'll give you if you feel the need to sit at any point,
Sure.
it gives you a spot to sit.
Great.
Just to give us some levels if you need them. We may not, this may all stay on its feet. All right, so we've got the house. We have a fountain. Maybe let's imagine that large olive tree just to give us some dynamics. We'll put it right here in front of this staircase. Does that sound good? All right, and then connect, right, those memories that you had for just a minute ago. Try to connect them to one of those landmarks, right? The fountain, the house, the tree,
Sure.
right? Something that kind of grounds it in the space. All right, excellent. So, where are you coming from in the start of this scene, Jason, do you think?
Smoothing the ruffled feathers that Medea has just caused.
Great, excellent. So that means you're going to come in from here, and you're going to be meeting him from the house.
Okay.
All right, excellent. So what I'd like to do is if you'll start over here, Zakary, and then the 2 of you, if you will kind of come in from the house, but don't come out until he says his first sentence.
Okay.
Right, so just stand upstage of the timer there. We'll let your first call,
Sure.
that first sentence, and then we'll pause. And I'm just going to let you all go through this until we get to the line, "Shelter bought with betrayal. He married another, abandoning their mother." We'll stop after that line for right now. So we'll just work on this first beat. All right, when you are ready, Jason.
I've come as requested. You hate me, but I'm here and prepared to listen. Woman, what is it you want from me?
Cool, let's pause right there. So I'm thinking about her kind of status, right, in this scene. So one of the things we think about directorially a lot is managing the status of the characters, the kind of who's in charge, who's not in charge, right, within the scene. So obviously Jason comes in very much trying to claim the high status. Based on how you start this scene, the very first line, Jason, I ask you to forgive me for what I said before. I wonder if this is an initial kind of like attempt to ingratiate. So I wonder if maybe you take that low status
Sure.
intentionally.
Yeah.
So rather than coming to meet him, what happens if, like, as he says that, you come out, and then we see just like kind of a kneel to the ground. Just see what happens, and then let Jason come all the way to you. Let's start again from, and then after requested, wait until you see her come out of the house.
Got it.
Perfect. All right. When you're ready.
I've come as you requested. You hate me, but I'm here.
Stay behind Medea. Stay behind Medea. There you go.
And prepare to listen. Woman, what is it you now want from me?
Her suffering wills. My heart knows she may do something dreadful, my lord.
Jason, I ask you to forgive me for what I said before. My anger you should endure, since we shared so much. I debated with myself, why am I so enraged, resenting those who offer good advice? Why fight rulers, or my husband, whose actions serve my best interest with this royal marriage, producing brothers related to my sons? Why can't I stop being angry? Don't I have children? Don't I know we go into exile where friends are rare?
You must understand, this marriage secures their future. As your husband, I must do what I can to protect what's ours.
Cool, let's pause right there. What are you expecting to see from her when you get here?
Contrition, which I get.
Great.
Until halfway through when she's like, I'm sorry you feel that way.
Yeah. Cool. So I wonder what that switch looks like. Like that moment of you can't help but, right? What does that look like? And see what impulses come from you physically.
Okay.
Right? So one of the things I look for a lot of times directorially is I pay attention to body language of the actors. Impulses are usually expressed in like 3 different places. Usually I see them in the shoulders, in the feet, or in the hands. So it's usually something that is a reach for something, a lean for something, or like some sort of movement that tells me that there's a desire to move, but for whatever reason they're not allowing themselves. So as we do this scene, you'll see me kind of pointing to and pulling out those impulses as we go. And I want to be clear that this does not mean that the actors are doing a bad job. It means they're doing their job exactly right. Actors have a lot they have to keep in mind, especially in rehearsal. Right? Not only are they thinking about the lines, but they're thinking about the notes that we gave the last time that we do it, and they're thinking about their characters' motivations, and they're thinking about all these things. Part of the job of the director is to be that outside eye to help remind them of things that maybe are getting lost in the shuffle. Not because they're doing a bad job, but because they just have a lot on their mind. All right, excellent. So let's just go from Jason, I asked you to forgive me, from your stand there.
Jason, I ask you to forgive me for what I said before. My anger you should endure, since we shared so much. I debated with myself, why am I so enraged, resenting those who offer good advice? Why fight rulers or my husband, whose actions serve my best interests with this royal marriage, producing brothers related to my sons? Why can't I stop being so angry? Don't I have children? Don't I know we go into exile where friends are rare?
You must understand this marriage secures their futures. As your husband, I must do what I can to protect what's ours.
Protect? Jason? You traded love for status, hospitality for politics. Our children became pawns. You call this good?
My lady, but I think your sons, and the shelter he offers you all.
Right, keep going with that last time.
Shelter bought with betrayal. married another, abandoning their mother.
Medea, think.
Pause there for just a second. All right. How did that feel, that kind of back and forth? Him leaving, you kind of following works well, and then you turning around. What I want to invite you now is don't go to him.
Okay.
Now claim the status of staying where you are.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Let him,
I want him.
Yeah, you want him to come to you. You want him to have to move in this direction. So that, and you're doing such a great job. Be thinking about, in the moments when you're not talking as well, be thinking about your breath, right? You know when we get anxious, sometimes our breath starts to move a little faster, right, and a little more shallowly. So try to think about that breath of hey, what's happening, right? We're a little on edge, right? So that even as you're not talking, there's still that you're watching the back and forth. You're watching the tennis match, right? Of hey, what's happening? And then when you choose to jump in, right, there's a reason why in that moment you're jumping in, right? You see something that they are doing that's causing you to hey, it's gonna be okay, right? So every time they start to escalate too much, that's when you're jumping in. Does that make sense? All right, excellent. So can we just go from shelter bought with betrayal? We'll keep going from there, and let's see what happens if you stay put.
Shelter bought with betrayal. He married another, abandoning their mother.
Medea, think. I am to shield them with this alliance. I serve their welfare, not strip it away.
Your logic wounded me long ago.
Don't cross to him. Stay up.
Stay here?
Yeah.
Your logic wounded me long ago. Security built on my sacrifice. Clever and cruel.
Cool. Let's pause there for just a second. I wonder what happens if this becomes dismissive.
Okay.
I wonder if this is something you're saying, and then you're going to go back inside the house, and you stop her, right? Because with that line, because you say, "Consider this the household trembles," right? Because you're reminding her, hey, your kids' lives are at stake here, right? Your children's lives hang on your decisions, right? So stop her with household trembles, and then stay with her, but then you can say the second part of that to him, her children's lives.
Okay.
And yeah, let's see what that looks like. So can we go from Medea think, the cue line for Medea?
Medea, think. I am to shield them with this alliance. I serve their welfare, not strip it away.
Your logic wounded me long ago. Security built on my sacrifice. Clever and cruel.
Well, consider this. The household trembles. Your children, your children's lives lives on your decisions.
I see your pain, but know that exile follows unless I act.
Cool. Let's pause there for just a second. The most important line in that word, I think, is exile.
Got it.
Right? That's the whole point of that sentence, is to remind her that that's at stake.
Okay.
Cool. I love the cross there, so let's keep that.
Cool.
You just go from her children's lives hang on your decision, that cue line for him once he's ready.
Her children's lives hangs on your decisions, my lord.
I see your pain, but know that exile follows unless I act. The royal match could prevent our ruin.
Exile you decree, but I brought us here through love. I betrayed father and home only for you, and now I'm cast out.
I did not foresee your reaction. I thought reason would temper your anger.
Reason? You uprooted my life.
Cool, let's pause there. We have this beautiful image of the tree.
Thinking
Yes,
about that.
absolutely, right?
That's where I was
So
trying to go
let's anchor it to the tree,
Okay.
right? You don't have to intentionally walk to the
Right.
tree, but let that frustration carry you toward the tree,
Sure.
so that then we have that imagery of the tree behind you with that uprooted language, right? So
Uh-huh.
one of the things that
Like a tree.
I think about a lot of times directorially is the visual metaphor and poetry that can be created on stage in the spacing and positioning of bodies in space, right? Next to things like scenic design, etc. And so obviously we don't have a real tree here tonight, but by helping her anchor that also helps the actor understand and remember sometimes lines and cues whenever we can tie things to the physical space. All right, great. So let's go from exile, you decree. Top of that page.
Exile, you decree. But I brought us here through love. I betrayed father and home only for you. And now I'm cast out.
I did not foresee your reaction. I thought reason would temper your anger.
Reason? You uprooted my life.
Cool. And when you say that, like, let's plant our feet, right,
Okay.
rather than step forward on that.
Sure.
Like, you uprooted my life.
Sure.
I'm also wondering. There's a vulnerability that comes with the emotion you're showing right now, right? Like, you're making yourself vulnerable. I wonder, and it may not be yet, so it's fine if the answer is not yet, but I wonder where the moment is where she makes a conscious choice to try and swallow the emotion. Right? To be able to speak as a man does, which I hate that language, right? But at the time, right, this idea of like women being the emotional ones, right? I mean, that's still true today, unfortunately. But that idea of like not letting him have that part of you, right? And it may not be yet, but just be looking for that moment where you make the choice to try and still the anguish that you're feeling.
Yeah.
Cool? All right, let's just go from reason you uprooted my life. You're right there.
Reason? You uprooted my life! You married into royalty and dismissed me! I, who saved you, served you, am cast aside!
I offer resources, dignity, a future. I did not force you.
Silence. You never truly offered me anything.
Cool, let's pause right there. You have an ally behind him, so let's head in that direction.
Okay.
It doesn't need to be in the middle. You can, by your bargain dishonors, why don't, like, is it okay if she hits your shoulder with hers? So let's shoulder check him as you go past, right? So that, like, it doesn't need to be much, but just a brush is fine. Just make it clear you're not giving way for him, right? And as you go, head toward your ally over here. That then, she's trying to hold it together. It's a great moment to do it because she's trying to hold it together, but you can still see, right? You can still see that she's shaking. Lady, you tremble, right? That's your next line. Great, so let's go from that place, please. Silence, you never truly offered me. Okay.
Silence. You never truly offered me anything. Your bargain dishonored me and mine and our children.
My lady, you tremble.
Yes, good.
This house, everything in it is now shattered.
Cool, so take her. Is it okay if you put hands on both shoulders?
Yeah.
So take her here. You tremble, right? You care for her. You're checking on her, right? This here. So that then that better shattered in lives and betrayal, you have a place to turn out of to say that to him, right? Between him and the house now.
Okay.
Excellent. All right, let's do that one more time. Will you just do the cross? Your bargain dishonors me and our children, just for time.
Your bargain dishonors me and our children.
My lady, you tremble. This house, everything that is new is shattered now. Shattered.
Better shattered than lived in betrayal. My resolve builds. I will not be dismissed.
Then tell me, what do you demand?
Justice. Recognition. A life that does not die in shame. Yet, I see no place left for me.
Medea, I'm afraid. Think of our children. Don't destroy their future in vengeance.
Destroy.
Pause there. Did you all see that impulse? See it in the shoulders? Yeah, step into his face. Yeah, you wanted to. I saw it. I saw the shoulders go, right? So as that was a lovely impulse. Follow it. Boom, right in his face.
Okay.
Right? Cool. Can you go, just don't destroy their future and bend it? Lovely.
Don't destroy their future in vengeance.
Destroy their future? My children's safety is already stolen. Their fate is exile or worse.
Great. Cool. Nurse, this is perfect. So now, he's in her face, she's in his. You gotta cool the tension, right? So, you can't move him. He's the big guy in charge, right? But you can come, gesturally, come pull him away from her for this line, right? So that you have this moment for Jason, look at her, grief, rage, feel her thought, leave her, etc. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. So can we do that? Their fate is exile or worse into his line, please.
Their fate is exile or worse.
My lord, Jason, look.
No, pull him away. Pull him away. Come.
Look at her grief. Rage, feel her thoughts.
So pause for just a second. So on Jason, pull him away. Don't start the rest of the line until you're a good distance away, because you're talking just to him. You don't want her to overhear this necessarily, right? You're trying to convince him to listen to her because she's getting real mad, right? She's getting really upset, and you're worried she's going to do something awful, right? Cool. Let's try that one more time. Same place. Their fate is exile or worse.
Their fate is exile or worse.
Jason, my lord.
Yes.
Look at her grief, her rage.
Cool. Pause for a second. Counter all the way around for me. Zakary, will you? Yeah. Sorry.
Oh,
Wait, no, just because we're in an alley. Counter all the way around, and then you can look over his shoulder at her.
Got it.
Yeah, that impulse is great. Okay. Keep going with your line, nurse. Grief is great. Look at her from there.
Look at her grief, her rage, and fuels her thoughts. Leave her, lest she be decided beyond reason.
Medea? If you leave, I will provide for them. I swear by children to support them.
Words. Promises are empty as your affection. I march towards what's inevitable.
Then let it be known you do this of your own free will.
Cool. Pause for just a second. What is happening in that line? So she says, I march toward what's inevitable. I want to see if we can earn that explosion more. Right? Right now we're going from 0 to 60. So one of the things I pay attention to a lot directorially is kind of what I call emotional blocking. So we think about physical blocking on the stage, but the emotional blocking is kind of the ebbs and flow of emotion within a scene or within a story. And so a lot of times I'll use this word earn it, right? We need to earn emotion sometimes. And what we mean by that, or what I mean by that, is the idea that very rarely, it does happen, but very rarely do we just go from 0 to 60 as human beings, right? Frustration builds, anger builds, sadness builds. It's very rarely just we're here and then, we're not. Now that does happen, but in very specific situations. So what I'd love to see, when we go back and run this last section, I want to see if we can build that sooner. So that then when that explosion happens, it feels more earned. So let's go back and run. Yeah, we're doing okay. We've got about 6 more minutes till we need to run it. So let's go from better shattered than lived in betrayal. So Medea and the nurse are upstage. I think Jason is downstage, middle of page 2, if that's helpful.
Yep.
You just had both hands on her shoulders, nurse. Medea's facing upstage. So you're a little more this way, I think, is where you ended up. Great. And then you were just here. You had just finished. Everything you knew is now shattered. So hands there, and then you start with Medea's line, better shattered than lived.
Better shattered than lived in betrayal. My resolve builds. I will not be dismissed.
Then tell me, what do you demand?
Cool. Let that. Fight it harder.
Got it.
Fight to maintain control harder.
Heard.
The control is good. Fight it harder. Can you go from my resolve builds, I will not be dismissed?
My resolve builds. I will not be dismissed.
Then tell me, what do you demand?
Justice. Recognition. A life
Good.
that does not die in shame. Yet, I see no place left for me.
Medea, I pray, think of our children.
Cool. Pause there. Let that build even more. In this moment, just make the decision about what tactic you're going to make.
Got it.
Right? When you turn to look at her, I think the first thing is like, this fucking woman.
Yep.
Right? Like, why won't you? So you've got to find the next thing.
Got it.
Right? So let's just go back just a little bit. Yet I see no place left for me, please.
Yet I see no place left for me.
Medea, I pray, think of our children. Don't destroy their future in vengeance.
Destroy their future? My children's safety is already stolen. Their fate is exile. Or worse.
Hold, Medea, I want you to try that line one more time. Just because I want to try something, I might invite you to play with something, not because you're doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
What does it look like if that is deathly quiet?
Okay.
If that line is
Sure.
right, you've made your decision.
Yeah.
Is right? Because you're saying destroy their future, right?
Yeah.
That's what you're about to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's try that again. From don't destroy their future in vengeance. And we'll just see how it feels. It may not work, but
Don't destroy their future in vengeance.
Destroy their future? My children's safety is already stolen. Their fate is exile or worse.
right. Pull him away. Keep going. Yep. Pull him away.
Jason, my lord.
Let him cross all the way around you. You're gonna face him. There you go. Perfect. Yep.
Your grief and rage through her thoughts. Leave her, lest she decide beyond reason, my lord.
Medea, if you must leave, I will provide for them. I swear by children to support them.
Words. Promises are as empty as your affection. I march towards what's inevitable.
Then let it be known you do this of your own free will.
Beautiful. Keep going, Zach.
Yes, I choose my path, my children's fate, my father's betrayal, your ambition. You brought it all upon us.
Yep. Go to her.
My lady. Stay, think. Don't let despair rule you, my lady.
I've thought enough. My fury, not yours, will speak. Farewell, Jason.
Cool. Let's pause right there. 2 moments. I know you were ready for that final line.
Medea!
That's the sitcom version of it. So right now you're doing this around him. Don't give him that burden.
Okay.
Right? I would love to see the stage picture of like, I've thought enough. Boom. Right here. My fury, not yours, will speak. And then walk and throw the farewell, Jason, over your shoulder. Yeah. Yeah. You're done with him. You're
Yeah,
done with him
I've already decided.
halfway through the scene.
Yep,
right?
You're right. Yep.
Cool. All right. We're going to run this last section. Let's go from yes, I choose my path. So you were starting over here. We'll go through this final line for Medea. Nurse, make a decision whether when she leaves, do you follow her or do you stay with Jason? Either one is fine, but make a decision. Okay? All right. Yes, I choose my path.
Yes, I choose my path. My children's fate. My father's betrayal. Your ambition. You brought it all upon us.
My lady, stay. Sing, don't let the spirit rule you. My lady.
I've thought enough. My fury, not yours, will speak. Farewell, Jason.
Medea. Scene. All right, cool. Couple of thoughts, and then we're going to run this from the top. Let's drop the wave. It feels a little too evil villain-y.
Okay.
Just visually. That walk is beautiful. It's enough. You don't need the hands. Yeah. Okay, so back to those memories I asked you for earlier, right? As we go through this, each time you come face to face with each other, there's like 2 or 3 points where you kind of get close to each other. Try to let one of those memories pop up in your head, right? Because that's what you're losing in this, right? Like, other than the kids, which is important too, but like between the two of you, that's what you're losing, right? So in those moments, try and pull in that specific memory, and as you all watch, try to see if you can notice the difference, right, in how that specificity in their memory shows up on stage, because it does, it absolutely will. And it's stuff that an audience would never know, but in rehearsal is a really, really powerful tool directorially to help kind of craft the scene and get it really unique. The last thing I want to mention, and then we'll run it, is Jason.
Yep.
Last line on the second to last page, on the second page, Medea, if you must leave. I think you and them is a contrast. Does that make sense?
If you must leave, I'll provide for them.
Yes.
Got it.
Bingo. All right. Excellent. All right. Let's get in place for the top of the scene. All right. Friends, I now present Medea by Euripides.
I've come, as you requested. You hate me, but here I am. Prepare to listen. Woman, what is it you now want from me?
Her suffering wells up. My heart knows that she may do something dreadful, my lord.
Jason, I ask you to forgive me for what I said before. My anger you should endure, since we shared so much. I debated with myself. Why am I so enraged, resenting those who offer good advice? Why fight rulers or my husband, whose actions serve my best interests with this royal marriage, producing brothers related to my sons? Why can't I stop being angry? Don't I have children? Don't I know we go into exile where friends are rare?
You must understand this marriage secures their future. As your husband, I must do what I can to protect what's ours.
Protect? Jason? You traded love for status, hospitality for politics. Our children became pawns. You call this good?
Nurse, you got a line. Or tutor, excuse me.
My lady, think of your sons and what he offers them like shelter.
Shelter? Bought with betrayal? He married another, abandoning their mother.
Medea, think. I am to shield them with this alliance. I serve their welfare, not strip it away.
Your logic wounded me long ago. security built on my sacrifice. Clever and cruel.
My lady, I said this, the household trembles. And I said his lives hang on your decisions, my lord.
I see your pain, but know that exile follows unless I act. The royal match could prevent our ruin.
Exile, you decreed, but I brought us here through love. I betrayed father and home only for you, and now I'm cast out.
I did not foresee your reaction. I thought reason would temper anger.
Reason? You uprooted my life. You married into royalty and dismissed me. I, who saved you, served you, and cast aside.
I offered resources, dignity, a future. I did not force you.
Silence. You never truly offered me anything. Your bargain dishonors me and our children.
My lady, you tremble. You tremble. This house, everything you knew, is now shattered, my lady. It's shattered.
Better shattered than lived in betrayal. My resolve builds.
Then,
I will not be dismissed.
then tell me, what do you demand?
Justice, recognition, a life that does not die in shame. Yet I see no place for me.
Medea, I pray, think of our children. Do not destroy their future in vengeance.
Destroy their future. My children's safety is already stolen. Their fate is exile, or worse.
Jason, my lord. Look at her. Her grief, her rage, through her thoughts. Leave her, lest she decide beyond reason, my lord.
Medea, if you leave, I will provide for them. I swear by children to support them.
Words. Promises are as empty as your affection. I march towards what's inevitable.
Then let it be known you do this of your own free will.
Yes, I choose my path, my children's fate, my father's betrayal, your ambition. You brought it all upon us.
My lady, stay. Stay. Don't let despair roar you. My lady, stay.
I have thought enough. My fury, not yours, will speak. Farewell, Jason.
Medea.
Scene. Let's give him a round of applause. Come on up, come on up, come on up. Yeah! All right. All of you face this way, real quick. Line up, face this way, and give a bow to this side. Excellent, we're gonna face this way, and we're gonna bow to this side. Excellent. Hello there. Thank you so much for watching Director's Cut. I hope you enjoyed it. And if this glimpse into the directing process sparked something for you, whether you're a theater maker, educator, or just someone who loves live performance, there's so much more where this came from. Because this isn't just a show, it's part of a much bigger movement that is rethinking what it means to direct theater and how we train, support, and value directors, especially in schools and community theaters, but throughout the industry. You can explore a growing library of free resources at deconstructingdirecting.com, designed especially for directors in those upstream spaces like schools and community theaters, both for themselves and to use as part of their directing curriculum. 100% free. And if you're part of a theater, school, or university that wants to rethink how you train directors, I also offer consulting, custom workshops, and can bring Director's Cut to you, performed with your actors for your audiences. We can package that with workshops on directing, acting, or producing, whatever fits your needs. And if you believe in this kind of work and want to help keep it going, consider supporting Deconstructing Directing on Patreon. Even a few bucks a month makes a real difference. Links to everything I just mentioned are below in the description. Thank you again for being here. I want to transform our field for the better, but I can't do it alone. So until we see each other again, I challenge us all to be recklessly kind.